Hello and welcome to RadioTimes.com's reaction to the first episode of the brand new season of Taskmaster. It's back, finally. We're here to settle the scores and to separate the creepy wooden Pinocchios from the giant rubber ducks. Patrick, we've just watched the first episode of the new season of Taskmaster. What are your thoughts?
Well, my first thoughts is that I think the lineup seems really promising. I think a good Taskmaster lineup always has that kind of combination of different styles of comedians with kind of different shticks, and I think we've got a lot of kind of variety so far. Some people that I was very familiar with before, and others like Sam Campbell, who I didn't know about, but I've kind of instantly taken to him right from that first prize task. I thought he was, he's got that kind of surreal energy, which I think will do really well on Taskmaster. I'm
so excited for people to discover Sam Campbell. I adore the guy. I think he's fantastic. If you haven't seen his stuff, check it out on YouTube. His stand-up's amazing. I think he's really suited to Taskmaster as well. And obviously, he won the first episode, so he's a hot contender. Let's talk about who we think might win the overall season. So our early predictions.
Yes.
We've had a first look at them all. Who are you tipping for glory?
I think Sam Campbell, he won that first episode. I don't know if he will do so well in some of the tasks which require kind of logic and reason. I think he'll do really well in those kind of outside the box ones and the creative things.
Yeah.
I think someone who might have a good balance is Sue Perkins, who didn't have a brilliant first episode, the tin can.
Which we'll get on to.
But I think she showed kind of in the rubber duck task that she's got that kind of lateral thinking that will do really well.
Definitely. I think going in, I think a lot of Taskmaster fans thought Sue Perkins might be the one to watch. Cool, rational head, kind of thinking calmly under pressure. And I agree, I think that duck task bodes well for her going forward. I think she knows the show. I think she's going to think outside the box, which is always helpful. I do think Sam Campbell is a contender. Like you say, I think he's really good at the kind of creative side of things. I don't think it hurts that Greg seems to love him. Greg is laughing away at all his jokes, which helps, I think, when the Taskmaster's on your side. And I also think maybe Julian Clary might be quite good as well. I think he's got that kind of rational approach.
Yeah, he's not going to get flustered, I don't think.
Whether or not he enjoys being there is another matter, but I think he'll do quite well as well.
But I think what's good generally is that the last couple of seasons we've had kind of runaway winners from the off, really, with Mae Martin and Dara Ó Briain before that. And I know the points aren't the be all and end all, but it somehow adds to the entertainment value when there's a bit of competitiveness. Anyone can win, and I do think this season looks like it could be quite kind of wide open.
Definitely. Let's talk very quickly about the other end of the scale as well, who might not be doing so well. Pauline Beaumont didn't have a great episode. It does look like she might be a lot of fun. Maybe not the one to consider for the actual ultimate prize.
Yes, no, she did have a few moments of kind of despair in this episode, and I don't know, she could turn it around, but yeah, it wasn't a promising start for poor Lucy.
Absolutely, I'm excited to see Susan as well. I think that duck task of hers was really good as well, so I think she might grow into the season.
Exactly.
Let's move on very quickly. We're going to get our moment of the episode. Patrick, what was your moment of the week?
So there's a few to choose from. I think we almost had a great moment at the end of the episode when it looked for a minute like Sam Campbell, who'd been talked out of his prediction about the two things weighing the same amount, was going to have been proven right. But yeah, in the end, I think my favourite moment was the moment when the two Susan, Sue and Susan, discovered that there was a second part to that team task after they'd kind of connected themselves in all manner of different ways.
Yeah.
Not realising that they would then have to kind of lumber over to a finish line. So I just think that, for that initial moment of discovery and then watching them kind of struggle was kind of classic Taskmaster.
Definitely, and seeing the other team do so brilliantly at kind of thinking outside the box and just walking over the finish line
exactly. It was the sheer contrast that kind of really worked. So
I think that other team of three, I think they will be chaotic. I think they're going to be all over the place, but they might have those moments of inspiration. Whereas the Sues, I think, will be a bit more kind of level-headed, and maybe that will win out in the end of the day. I'm not sure. But speaking of Sue Perkins, I'm going to go. My moment of the week was the absolute meltdown that she had in the cans task. It didn't go well for her, poor thing, but it was really entertaining to watch. The image of Alex Horne backing out of the laboratory while she was sitting there covered in cans, not knowing there's no one else in the lab with her anymore, is going to stick with me for a long time. I'm really looking forward to, at the end of this overall season, someone putting a super cut together of all the things that Sue Perkins has called Alex. I think it's going to be explicit, but I think it's going to be brilliant.
Supercut also sounds a bit like Sue Perkins.
The Sue Perkins supercut. Don't let us down. Someone needs to be on that. Yeah, kind of Taskmaster's back, when someone's just sitting amongst cans, strewn all over the place.
I think, it was a good episode for Alex Horne trickery as well. I think most of the tasks had a little bit of a kind of twist in there of him really kind of riling up the contestants, which is always good to see from the beginning.
And speaking of little tricks, we have to talk about one thing that cropped up in the first pre-recorded task. When the contestants were getting their task, Alex Horne says to them, who do you think, or do you think, anyone is going to find the secret task this series? Now, we've not had this before in Taskmaster. This is uncharted territory. What do you think this secret task is all about, and when do you think it's going to come into play?
My kind of gut instinct was maybe, is there actually a secret task at all? Is the kind of the joke in itself that everyone's going to then end up looking for a secret task, and it's not actually that? I think that would be kind of classic Alex Horne, to kind of, you know, make people think there is this special thing that they need to look for.
Part of me thinks, I think it will, if it exists, I think it'll be in a pre-recorded task, maybe at the house, and I wonder if it's going to go on for the whole season. Maybe like the final task might be the secret task.
Yeah.
That said, I would love it if they did something really wild and kind of brought it into the studio. We know Taskmaster loves hiding things under tables and chairs. I think it would be brilliant if, let's say, they had a secret task under their chairs in the studio recordings all this time.
Yeah.
And just it takes one of them just to go under there and realise, sing Bar Bar Black Sheep or something.
Yeah, I hope also we get at least one kind of red herring where someone thinks they found the secret prize and it's actually just
a blank task.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a good season. So keep watching. That's that for now. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of the first episode. Specifically, who do you think is going to win? Get those predictions in. And what do you think the secret task will be? And we'll all check back in here at the end of the season and find out how wrong we all were. That's it for now. See you next week.